Hey, what's up, everybody? This is the DeFi enthusiast here, and I'm with the Dow Realist. We are Crypto Ronins. How is everyone doing? Today is our first podcast, and what a great start it is. What do you think, Dow Realist? What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I just want to say
Great times ahead,
welcome
huh?
to, yeah, absolutely. I just want to say welcome to all the crypto Ronins of the world. This is the Dow Realist in alliance with the DeFi enthusiast. And together we are the Crypto Ronins, bringing you lots of good news regarding the crypto industry and also those 100x altcoin gems. So, yeah, and it's a pleasure and always wonderful to speaking to uh, the DeFi enthusiast, an amazing brother and a genius when it comes to crypto, in particularly fundamental analysis. Uh, this guy comes up with the most amazing analysis and gems and finds that I've seen, and his analysis is really off the hook. So it's always a pleasure and an honor to be speaking to you, bro.
Thank you so much, man. And likewise, I mean, guys, if you don't know, if you've been missing out on our Patreon, it's your loss really because I do a lot of the fundamental analysis, and then the Dow realist, he does all the chain of mentals and analysis and research, and he's a great technical analyst, which is why he's so shy. But but most technical analysts are my friends, but that's why, because they don't have time to, just, appear out of the blue. I mean, we fundamental analysis folks, we kind of, we just jump out sometimes and, come on the camera and say, hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, check out this coin, check out this coin. But, it is this guy, that gives great entries. It is this guy who finds those entries, where to enter into a project. I'm the one who finds a project. He finds a good entry point. And honestly, people have made 50x's, 100x's, 200x's, 300x's, even from the previous bull run, even this bull run. Before Gensler, thank God he's left. Before Gensler decided to crash the market at one point, everything was doing well in the altcoin world, and people made a lot of money with us. And we've given over what, more than 200 gems so far, I believe. 200
Yeah,
different,
yeah.
more than 200 different altcoins. And if you've invested in any of them, and if you haven't seen profit, I'd be very, very surprised because we have been crushing it because we always go for what? What is that? Quality over quantity. That's the real rule, guys.
Yep.
We're not looking for rug pulls. We're not looking for what's the next hot meme. Although we are going to be talking about that in a bit, but we usually don't give that kind of stuff in Crypto Ronins because we always want to give fundamentally strong utility based projects, and that's really where our strengths are. So, anyways, my friend, it's so great to have you here, and so let's talk about the first thing, man. I mean, we are seeing a very different United States at the moment. uh President, the new president is, of course, Donald Trump. If anybody is living under a rock, you know that's like, I'd be very, very surprised if they can't, like, if people don't know about this. But tell me your thoughts on this entire election, bro, and tell me how this could affect crypto, because I see a lot of positive things happening. Give us your thoughts, man.
Yeah, bro. Um, and first, I'll just want to say I'm not that shy. I just sort of like to work from the shadows, you know, behind the scenes a bit. But yeah, but I get what you mean. But yeah, and also regarding the whole Trump situation, geopolitically, the past month, this 2025 has been wild, to be honest with you. And it's good to see a administration, a government administration that is pro crypto, right? Especially for the US for the first time. Again, both myself and the DeFi enthusiasts, we are politically neutral. We're politically independent. We're not, affiliated with any party. Just want to make that clear, right? We're just doing a, neutral observation. We are pro crypto, and if anybody passes any policy or does any statement or any action that's for crypto, we're for that, right? Because that's where the gains are being made, right? And so regarding the Trump administration, they have shown a very, very, very positive indication and statements. And now we're going to be looking at their policy eventually when that comes out. And it's all been very pro crypto. So we are expecting more of that. And from the election of Trump, we saw BTC, Bitcoin going from, the 60K range up to 75, up all the way up to the 90K range and then eventually hitting 100K and getting at the height of 108K, after which there was a retracement back. And now it is inauguration. We did see it hit 109K, 110K roughly levels, right? Again. So we're waiting for that. We're probably waiting to see it pass the 110K level eventually, right? But we are seeing a the markets reacting very positive to Trump, not only with crypto, but with stocks and other things as well. So overall, it's having a positive effect. And then on top of that, did you see, bro, what many people have been talking about it and what happened just right before and even right now after the inauguration with the Trump coin? Trump actually launching his own official coin. You know what I'm saying? And some people made a killing off that. People got in early. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, who could have ever thought, that POTUS is going to launch its own meme coin? I mean, that's the wildest thing that you can ever see in crypto, right? I mean, when they call it the Wild Wild West, I mean, now the Wild Wild West has an American backing, man. I mean, it's like, the biggest shiller for crypto right now is the president of the United States, and and what a crazy way to endorse crypto by launching his own meme coin, then on top of it, launching his wife's meme coin, and then on top of it, I'm hearing rumors about a Baron coin coming out as well. I'm not sure
yeah, yeah,
about
yeah,
that,
yeah.
but
The
but
whole family. That's
yeah,
the roadmap, bro. That's the roadmap. The whole
yeah.
family's the roadmap.
The whole family is a roadmap, and will and of course their DeFi platform Liberty. What's it called, man? Again, I'm kind of missing the.
World Liberty Fi.
Yeah, World Liberty Finance, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're also having a pre-sale of that token, and it shows a docs team, and it shows the chief as chief of that team as Donald Trump himself. I don't know how legit that pre-sale is. I mean, but I mean, it shows everybody. It shows Barron. It shows Eric Trump. It shows a bunch of his people that are working with him, right, and legal advisors. The entire team is doxxed apparently. So if this is somebody trying to pull off a scam or something, that will be a big mistake, because gone are the days where you can really now kind of like mess around in these type of things, especially with all the regulations and things that are going to be put forward, and what steps the United States is going to take, basically integrating crypto into its everyday system, right? That's the plan that Donald Trump has been talking
Yeah.
about. They've been talking about a very pro how should I put it? A very pro. They have a very pro stance towards Bitcoin. They have a pro stance towards altcoins. They have a pro stance towards crypto companies, right? And they're also talking about, I think if I'm not mistaken, they've been talking about removing any taxation and things like that. Huge taxes on American crypto companies, which is a very good sign for developers and crypto businesses that want to set up shop in the United States. And I would like your thoughts on that as well, bro. But I think these are very exciting times. Let me know what you think about all of this, man.
Yeah, I mean, we like you said, we got the president of the United States shilling crypto now. It's hilarious. And by the way, I think the brains behind that is his son, by the way. All this social media management and strategy, as well as his crypto strategy and what they're doing, that it's all Barron Trump. The kid's a genius. The kid's very smart, very intelligent, and he's working behind the scenes, and he's coming up with these strategies. It's very intelligent. Look out for him more in the future. What happens? He's someone to pay attention to. While people are paying attention to Trump, I would say pay more attention to Barron and what he does, right? Or what we can see him doing, right? And to see, what movements, what things come into play. Because I think he's actually the mind behind these meme coins for his father. I don't think his father knows that much about it. He's the one who's educating him about it, and they're going forward with that. And they made a killing. I heard that they made about what, $75 billion off that, his net worth,
Oh,
just in like 2 days.
Sorry,
You know, this is
you kind of
insane.
cut out in the middle. What are you trying? They made how much?
Oh, okay. They made
Wow,
$75 billion
wow.
from that in 2 days from the Trump coin.
Yeah, that's.
So he
I mean,
10x his net worth. So think about that. This is like the president of the United States just 10x his net worth over a meme coin that they set up.
yeah,
This
and
is
yeah, and honestly, personally speaking, you know me very well. I've never been a huge fan of meme coins because to me, I've always felt that anything that doesn't really have a utility or backing behind it, to me, I cannot do an analysis on it or what the future projection of that thing is. Like to me, it's like an open casino, right? That's really what it is. So I know a lot of people enjoy the casinos. And obviously, they say a very interesting thing when it comes to gambling and casinos that the house always wins. But one thing that it has been interesting in crypto is that the house doesn't always win. It's a lot of people that can also win in this, or they can lose it all. But there are definitely a lot of winners too. I mean, we have seen people make crazy money. Like I remember this one guy put 100 something dollars in Mudeng and ended up with like I don't know what $3 million or something, man. That's I mean, you can never imagine these type of ROIs in any traditional financial sector, right? Like the
yeah,
the opportunity for gains,
unheard
if
of.
like it's all about entry, where you enter into this coin. Like if you got in the beginning, you feel this is not a honeypot, and basically, if for those who don't know what a honeypot is, basically a honeypot is basically anything that you put your money in, but they manipulate the contract in a way where you actually can't really sell your token. So it's like money is coming in, and it feels like the asset is growing, but they are the ones who cannot allow you to sell that, and then they rug pull you and they can remove all the money out, take out all the liquidity, and basically make all the money for themselves. So that's really what a honeypot is. But so basically, if you're
Yeah,
not putting your money in a honeypot, there's a community being built around it, and you got in at the right time. The amount of gains that are possible are absolutely insane. But at the same time, you could also lose it all right away. So, be very careful with memes. I would say that if you have a high net worth in crypto, the most that you should think about risking is maybe 1,000 to $2,000 to $3,000. And if you don't have a lot of high income, man, I mean, honestly, just play around with maybe 20, 50, $100 and nothing more. Like I
yeah,
know I know the promises of making returns from meme coins are very, very I would say are very, very juicy in many ways, and people tend to really be attracted to those returns. But there are definitely winners, but there are also a lot of losers in this game. But with other utility based coins, I feel that you can really, really go in depth. You can really analyze where something can go, what's the possibility, what's happening, what development is happening, what the team is doing. And that's really where you should be putting your money in, ideally, if you want to be a smart investor, and especially if you want to be an investor that is well versed in the field of in this crazy world of Web3, right? So it's very, very important to remember this, and it's also very important to analyze this entire thing um because and that's exactly what we do in Crypto Ronins, right? We do a lot of fundamental analysis, a lot of research. We really think about what we're sharing, right? And and that's why we have a very, very successful winning rate as well. And so, what do you think about all of this, man? Like,
yeah.
any thoughts on this?
With meme coins, it's purely pumpamentals, you know, and there's nothing more to it. It's purely just a narrative, and if the narrative spreads and gets traction, gets attention, so it really becomes sort of like gambling in a lot of ways. It's becoming like a casino in a sense. So a lot of people, they come in, they put money in, but they lose their money. Some people may make money. So there are people who do make good money, right? So I'm not 100%. I'm not writing it off or anything, but the thing is that the vast majority, like a casino, people lose money. That's how it's become. That's what the meme coin category has become. All right. So the thing is that I mean, high risk, high reward type of scenario. You know what I'm saying? But it's very, very difficult to predict, and it's very, very time sensitive. It's short period of time. Things happen quick. Things go up quick. Things come down quick. You know. it is not, that easy to predict. But here's the thing. But there are some strategies. People have come up with some strategies. So I'm not writing it off or anything. I'm just letting you know that this is the nature of the meme coin category. Regarding the fundamental analysis, that's something that you can analyze and predict and set aside and make an investment and hold it long and get a more predictable profit afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So it definitely does, and you can get good return too. It definitely does uh, pay off to get into the fundamental analysis of things and to get into those utility coins, which have proper solid fundamentals. Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of this, I mean, coming back to these meme coins that the Trump family launched, they sucked out all the liquidity, man, from all the altcoins. Even Bitcoin, after reaching a new all-time high, went back down to like 101K USD, which is kind of hilarious, right? I mean, all the liquidity got removed, but some people have been panicking. But to me, I feel that there's nothing to panic about. I mean, thanks to POTUS, you have one more chance to accumulate solid, fundamentally strong altcoins at really, really juicy discounts. I mean, so what are you worried about? We're long term
Exactly.
going up. I mean, what do you think about this, man? Because a lot of people are spreading a lot of FUD. They're saying, oh, it's all over. Markets are going to go down. Everything's going to crash. Blah 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 blah. But on the other hand, we haven't really even seen an Ethereum bull run yet. We haven't seen Ethereum go up super high, and most utility coins are on ETH. So once ETH goes up, right, we're gonna start seeing altcoins starting to rise like crazy. And I feel people who cheated out, cheated basically is a concept where people sell too early on their investments. Those people who cheated out of their coins are really gonna regret it, in my opinion. What do you think about that, man?
What's interesting is that with Trump, they did start investing millions into ETH suddenly, so that hopefully can bring some attention there too. Overall, I mean, this whole thing that happened with Trump and the Trump coin, all this is going to bring a lot of attention to the crypto markets, and we're seeing a lot of normies, entering in and newbies into crypto, new people coming in. And you have to understand that less than 5% of the world population is into crypto. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of people that are, will become orange pilled, so to say, in this scenario, double orange pilled, one orange pilled by Bitcoin, orange pilled by Trump, right? So the thing is that, yeah. So we're going to see a lot. So it could bring more fundamentals into it. And we're in a bull run. We're in the starting phase of the bull run. I consider all this positive. People need to manage their emotions, their sentimentals, their fear and greed index in their mind, and they need to be cool and calm. They have to come together and have a proper long-term plan. This is why people shouldn't only rely and get into memes. They need to uh, get into these fundamental utility altcoins long term and diversify a bit so that they're not all dependent on the upward and down, the pumps and the dumps of a chart, right? And then losing their mind, right? So definitely, overall, it's a good thing, but just people need to manage their emotional, but I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. People will never manage their emotions. All right. This is why very few people, you and me, we're veterans. We've been doing this long term holds and holding on to a lot of crypto for a long term time, and it's always paid off. So we have much better emotional management, than a lot of other people. I mean, we practiced it, to be honest, right? To be fair, but a majority of people, especially the new people coming, they got no emotional management. So we're going to see this FUD coming in and going. But yeah, but we're in the starting phases of the bull run, and I think it's all up from here, especially with this new administration, which is pro crypto. So let's see what else comes out from. Are they going to get involved with a Bitcoin reserve strategy? Is there going to be, how much more money are they going to be putting into the crypto world? Are they going to attract investors? Why not? What's interesting is that on CoinGecko, right? There's a made in USA category now. And I think it's because I believe you even mentioned to me earlier that Trump he wants to attract investment to the United States. So what he has done is he's putting low tax or even I think a 0% tax on projects that are made in the USA, right? So that's like a Dubai type move. Like, you know how people make crypto money off crypto, or they want to launch a project, or they want to start a company, they go to Dubai and all the money's flowing there. This is like that type of move, but for the United States, this is huge. Yeah. And what do you think about that? About this, these different countries and their Bitcoin policy and their crypto policy?
Yeah. So sorry about that, man. I'm still trying to figure out this, Zoom. But yeah. So you can see the tab here, right? That I'm sharing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Check this out. I mean, this is the made in USA uh, coins, right? These are the ones. Check it out. XRP. We're not going to list all of them, but you kind of get the idea. XRP, Solana, USDC, Cardano, Chainlink, Avalanche, Sui, Stellar, right? Hedera Hashgraph, Litecoin, Uniswap, of course, the official Trump coin, duh, right? As if anybody really needed to question where that came from, right? Um, and
Yeah.
then we've got Near Protocol, Aptos, Ondo. Remember this? This was like one of our earliest calls in Patreon, man. I gave it at a few
Yeah.
cents. If you remember, look where Ondo is right here right now.
Yeah.
Like you could have
Yeah.
made so many X's if you guys got in when I gave this one.
Yeah.
Algorand, you remember Algo? I gave this back in 2019. You know, this is
Yeah.
when I said Algorand is going to be big. It's part of the ISO 2022 tokens, right? We were Render. That's another one from our last bull run. Filecoin, Optimism, Stacks, STX. This is another one. Injective, Theta. We have been mega Theta bulls. And the entire ecosystem, in my opinion, for Theta, T Fuel, T Drop, all these things are going to do very, very well this upcoming bull run. So Theta is definitely something, the entire Theta ecosystem is really, really worth looking at. And we've been Theta bulls since the last bull run, and we still are, because there's a lot of development happening here, right? And these are all the made in USA coins. Yeah, Pudgy Penguins. Remember this one? I told you about this. This is a great NFT project because they have a real product toy and everything behind it. There's like a real revenue. It's like a real company. It's not just some random thing. And they launched their token as well, and people did very well. Gala, another great one being made by Zynga Games, the founder of Zynga Games, and spoiler alert, we're like node runners for Gala. So although we don't get paid, yes, of course we get paid in Gala, right? But we like the project. We never sold any of those tokens really, and we've just been accumulating. And I feel that Gala is going to see a really, really nice run this time around, especially when the gaming narrative starts to take off again. The best case scenario for Gala would be that it surpasses its previous all-time high, and you guys can check it out how much that is. So the opportunity here is pretty big. Tezos, of course, you remember this? You remember Tezos, man, where they had these defense contracts and things being done. If you remember, do you remember that?
Yeah. 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 I
Yeah.
remember that. Yeah.
So this should be an interesting one. A lot of people are not talking about XTZ, but considering that we have a pro crypto government in the United States, and when Trump was talking about empowering the military as well in the right way, as he said, right? Something
Yeah.
along those
Yeah.
lines, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
So I wonder what role Tezos is going to play here, right? Because that should be very, very interesting. I'm pretty sure it's going to play a role, and a lot of people think that just because this coin came in the last bull run, it's not going to do well. Guys, let's be honest. Then according to that logic, Bitcoin shouldn't do well because Bitcoin came out how many years ago? Or Ethereum shouldn't do well because it came out right after Bitcoin. But they are still very relevant. So like we've
Yeah.
said, utility coins outpace everything. They might be slower in terms of growth, but they're the ones that are going to get you solid gains in the long run. And that's why we opened our Crypto Ronins. That's why we opened our Patreon, right? And then we've got Zcash. So this should be interesting. I'm really curious, man, and I thought this needs to be discussed. What do you think Trump is going to do about privacy coins? He says that he's going to remove censorship and all these limitations on overall in the United States. Do you feel a resurgence in privacy coins coming?
I think down the line they will eventually be a resurgence of privacy coins because a lot of the other in this industry, privacy is not something that's being really offered in general, right? It's the category of privacy coins that specifically do that, right? And a lot of cases, this issue is going to become an issue later on, more so, right? When people will want that uh, feature, right? Especially when it comes to taxes, right? And especially when it comes to also we get when people are also going to be exiting out as well, right? So definitely this narrative will step by step build up, and it is something that can come up and that can lead to a rise in the value of these coins and these tokens and the amount of money that'll be flowing into them.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with you, and I think that if you really think about it, I've been saying it for a while. I feel there's going to be a real war between centralized finance and decentralized finance. I know a lot of things are becoming sort of hybrid, right, where they have a centralized aspect to them, but then they have also a DeFi platform in correlation to it. But the question then arises: is that really truly decentralized? Because there is a level of KYC, there is a level of control, right? And I think for the normal, everyday, average Joe, I think that's not a bad idea, right? Because for them, they feel it's a sense of security. But no matter what anybody says, I don't think you can ever trust governments 100%, right? No matter who it is, or because you never know when somebody changes their tune, right? Somebody decides to. It's kind of like people have how certain people have certain mood swings, where they're like bipolar in many ways, where they say something and then they do something else. So that's the way I see most politicians, and I'm not pointing fingers at anybody, and I'm not trying to say that the current administration is going to do something like that, but still, you still want that security and that feeling of owning something. And I think that's exactly why most people got into crypto, because they felt that that this is a solution away from the banks, away from that centralized system. But I feel that with BlackRock in this game, it's great for the growth of the market, and with everything that's happening now at the moment, as we will discuss further. But with so many people which are part of centralized entities coming into an entity which was primarily decentralized, right? I do feel that a sense of that control is definitely going to go away. And there will be certain cryptos that should still maintain that, but I feel a lot of them are privacy coins. So interestingly, in Biden's time, and in Gensler's time, most exchanges got rid of privacy coins first because they said, for them, what do you think, man? I think they were like the biggest threat for them. And to me, I feel that in that eventually DeFi needs to grow at a level, it needs to be at a place where people have a choice. If they want to be involved in the traditional finance meets Web3, fine. But if they don't want to be in that, that should be fine as well. And I want your thoughts on that, man, because I feel that this coin, which is one of my favorites, even from the last bull run, a lot of people don't talk about it, Nano. I feel this is a great payment solution, man, because it has that security of Bitcoin, and it's got super fast speed. It can do transactions. It can do transactions at monumental levels. I know a lot of people say XRP is going to be the one, but I don't consider XRP. I mean, no hate towards the XRP fanboys or anybody that loves XRP. And by the way, I'm not anti XRP either. I mean, honestly, I would happily own 1 million or 100,000 XRP, for the long run, to be honest with you. But still, from a tech point of view, I feel that Nano is one coin that is going to that can maintain that decentralized aspect and literally be a coin that is ready to take on millions and millions of transactions per second and still keep the decentralized aspect and the security aspect of Bitcoin that people have come to love. Because I feel that Bitcoin itself on its own cannot really do that. It's a great I would say it's a safe vault to preserve your gains and to preserve your money and to save your money. But I don't think the whole payment solution thing, like I don't think it's able to do that as well. So I feel Nano is something that I think in the upcoming 6 to 7, 8 years, people are really going to start catching on to it, and because it's not really privacy, it's not privacy centric. It's decentralized. Plus, it's got a lot of great partnerships with like Travala and all these big companies, and it really works. And it's also energy friendly. That's another thing. We've been talking. A lot of people are talking about climate change and all those things. So this is also a green coin. A green. It's got that pedigree of being a clean energy coin, right? So what do you think about this, Matt? What are your thoughts on all of this?
Yeah, so regarding the whole general aspect about, you know, what regarding regulations coming in and this and that, the CeFi and DeFi, I could see them probably employing a bottleneck strategy where when they can't really control the whole market and all that and everything and every little coin out there and in every nook and cranny, what they will do is that they'll just try to guard the entrance and exit gates to crypto. So the on-ramping and off-ramping process will have to go through them. That's probably what they're going to be trying to focus on, right? So they'll want to, control um, MetaMask and control, decentralized exchange or have access and control. I mean, we saw that with Binance. What happened with CZ? Right? They put him, you know, behind bars for a while as well. So, they needed to get him to agree and also to get some control and access to these centralized exchanges and these on-ramping and off-ramping processes. And we're seeing also these new cryptocurrency debit cards and credit cards starting to come out. MasterCard and Visa getting involved with for the crypto world, and XRP may be one of the main pathways through which they do gain that access, even though other avenues will also be available. And that will help with growth, like you said. So we could see a lot of growth as it's introduced to the world, to institutions, and also to the general population, the crypto world. But at the same time, we may see tightened regulations and control. So increase growth and increase control, right? So in that situation, privacy coins really solve a real world problem, right? And you know what they say, the trend is your friend until the bend at the end. So you want to ride that trend up, make your gains, and then move forward. So this privacy category is important. And the crypto you mentioned, Nano, is very important. And that's a really good find and a really good mention by you.
Thanks, man. Thanks. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I think privacy coins will have a serious resurgence, especially as we've discussed over the years that they really want to control they don't really want to control the entry. I think they want to control the exit points. Like when you enter into crypto, of course, banks have always made it very difficult, right, for us to really kind of see where things are heading, right? Trying to getting into crypto via banks has been cumbersome and difficult. But the exit points so far weren't as regulated or as checked. They didn't have a lot of checks and balances, right? And I feel they really want to see who's holding what, how much of what is being held, right? By whom, so that they can categorize, okay, this is a high net individual. This person living there. Why, if they want to tax you, they could do that. If they don't want to, whatever they want to do, right? Whatever they want to do with that information, they can, right? So while all this mass adoption scenario is finally taking place, and we could potentially see a super cycle and all those things, I genuinely feel that we're also going to face a serious issue in terms of our sovereignty and privacy, because I don't think any government tolerates that much autonomy to any for anyone, right? Um, so it's a little bit alarming, but it's kind of like, I want to be positive and optimistic, but I'm also a little bit skeptical, you know?
Yeah, yeah, I understand. Absolutely. And definitely there's going to have to be some balance coming in between regulation and, the crypto ethos, of, having that, financial sort of freedom aspect. There's going to have to be some balance. And let's see where things go. The US is a leading country in this space because whatever happens there really does affect the market. As you know, when the SEC head, when he talks, look how it affects the market directly. Doesn't happen that for that necessarily for any other country, right? What their SEC equivalent says, it doesn't have that much effect. But for the US, it does, right? So the US is definitely leading in the uh, consequences or the effect on the market, the fundamentals, you know? So now that we got a positive, a pro crypto rather than anti crypto situation scenario, totally opposite, we can expect to see um, some good growth and probably a more balanced policy as far as regulation, government regulation is concerned, which is sort of what we want. We want a balance, so everybody is sort of happy, everybody wins, right? And we can move forward, with things. So yeah, let's see what happens. We'll find out soon in the coming days, weeks, and months as this bull run kicks off and as things go forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. Yeah, this is a very, very interesting time. And for sure, there's a lot of excitement. There's also some uncertainty, but I think more excitement than uncertainty for those who have been in this game for a while. For, anybody that is new, it's going to be a lot of, it's going to be really, really overwhelming for them to understand everything. I still feel that the one thing that these people have an advantage on is is the ability to provide crypto services in an easy way. What do I mean by that is, you know it is still cumbersome to understand decentralized finance. I mean, you and I have been in the trenches for far too long, and we were interested in doing it. But can you imagine a normal average Joe person around you trying to do yield farming on some DeFi platform? I mean, um, the
Yeah,
chances of that happening are very rare because you know that person is going to be so confused. And if you remember, we went through so many trial and errors and experiments and failures to understand what's going on and how things work. And we have made a lot of money, but we also lost a lot of money in that process, right? So I don't think the average Joe is ready for that. So one thing that governments and all these institutions are going to provide for the retail investors is that cushion of security, as opposed to, and
yeah,
I think sadly, unfortunately, most people, because they 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 want to be a part of something, but they don't want to learn something new because they're creatures of their habits. I feel that they'll happily give away their decentralized their freedom over to these institutions and governments for the sake of so-called security and comfort. Let me know what your thoughts are on this, man. Or do you feel that we're going to see a lot of people learning DeFi and getting into it? Or or do you see a scenario where I think DeFi is just going to keep getting easier? I know MetaMask has become a lot more easier now. Wallets have become a lot more friendlier now. What do you think? What do you think is the future for DeFi? Do you think DeFi is going to become more user friendly from now on?
yeah. The thing is that I do expect more user friendliness and more user friendly interfaces, UIs with people, right? And that will help for people to come into the crypto space more easily, right? And that's very important. That should happen. And like you're mentioning about all those, the DeFi yield farming features and whatnot, they are very technical, right? So it's not easy for your average Joe to understand that. The DeFi space will have to also update themselves and become more user friendly to allow those processes to happen easier if they're aiming to bring on more, people who are new to the market, right? Unless if they're just trying to target an exclusive group, of what can we say? people like us pioneers and explorer. I'm a pioneer, right? I'm an explorer, right? So the thing is that the people, venturing into the new world, which is a few compared to the vast majority of people, right? As there may be high reward, but there's also high risk, and a lot of people are risk averse, right? Okay, especially with the volatility that we see in crypto, right? So we can't expect everybody to uh, be able to figure out all these technicalities. Some people definitely will if they want to keep target those people high. If that's their target market of high net worth, you know, uh, pioneers or people who are advanced in DeFi and crypto, then that's a different story. But if they want to access the general population, they will have to update their user interface and change that approach. And so they have to make it easier, basically. Yep. And to you.
Right, right. Absolutely, man. No, I agree with you 100%. There needs to be a better um, method, a better methodology for mass adoption for most people because they want that ease. And I think step by step we're getting there. I think, probably in the next, I would say 2 to 3, 4 years, I think, where the entire crypto landscape is going to be very different, like things that took us a long time to understand there, those processes are going to become very, very easy. Because one thing that people don't realize is, especially when they talk about, market caps and, valuation growth and all these things is, like, whenever you talk, there, XRP fans, they keep talking about thousands and thousands of dollars worth of XRP. And then, you have all these critics saying, oh, it's not possible because, XRP has this much circulating supply and blah, blah, blah. Well, yeah, but just imagine if XRP XRP actually does replace Swift. I mean, the total valuation of crypto right now is above 3 trillion, right? The
Yeah.
S&P 500 is, I think, the entire stock market or whatever, the entire thing is like above 800 trillion. Like, do you see the amount of difference in terms of price? Like, people that keep commenting these, on these issues and, talking about, oh, something is not possible. I think they've been in crypto for too long and they have forgotten that there's an entire other world out there that is not even in crypto yet. There's only like what, 5% of people that are using cryptocurrencies right now, or they have some
Yeah, maybe
awareness of
even
what
less
it is.
than that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, or even less than that. So that is going to change. That is going to change drastically now, especially when you have a superpower now having an entire cabinet that is of Bitcoin holders and support the growth of cryptocurrencies. That is going to completely change because when you're a superpower, you are an influential country, an influence, and your culture, your views, your thoughts are passed down to almost every country that observes, follows, or watches you, right? So it's only a matter of time where mass adoption is going to be a very, very real thing. I think in a couple of years, you know, we're going to stop using this word mass adoption happening because it's already going to have happened. Like think about it. You can't transfer gold, right? You can't transfer a ton of gold. You can, like, I think the maximum amount of gold that you can take is maybe $5,000 worth. You know, if you're
Yeah, something like
taking,
that.
yeah, cash, I think you can take maximum 10K if I'm not mistaken, maximum.
Yeah,
And
that also depends
yeah, that
in
also,
different countries.
yeah, that also depends from country to country. And if even those countries that allow you to take $10,000 worth of cash, right? Um, they then usually ask you why you're taking this, so and so, this and that. So while I love gold, okay, I'm a big fan of gold. Okay, I'm not one of those guys that says that gold is obsolete. No, I don't believe that at all. And I'm not like Peter Schiff, who is an absolute moron, to be honest. For always, calling out Bitcoin. I mean, the guy just cracks me up. When the markets are going up, he's like silent. The moment the markets go down or they crash, he comes out like a hyena and he's like, "I told you so." Like, dude, like, what's with the attitude? I mean, look at the overall growth of Bitcoin. Like, uh, before
Best
it,
performing asset in the history.
Yeah, if you got into Bitcoin back in 2009, you bought some Bitcoin through Silk Road, let's say, right? You know, it was like 1 cent. Just imagine you put $1,000 there. How much Bitcoin you and if you were smart about it and you just held on to it, what would that amount be today? That's the main question, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Nothing can give you that return.
Nothing can give you that return. So those corrections and all those things are moot and irrelevant because the asset has been growing constantly and reaching new all-time highs. And it's got only a limited supply of 21 million. That's it. Soon we'll only be earning in sats, in Satoshis, once the entire supply is, fully run out. Like there's already a shortage of that supply. So even holding, what was I, if I was reading correctly, like holding even 0.1 Bitcoin is going to put you in the top 1% or something in the near future. So
Exactly.
that's where Bitcoin is going. So what, personally from my experience, what do you think, man? I mean, before, when we got into this market, I personally feel that, once you've made your profits and once you've made your gains, right? I think you should definitely dedicate yourself to a model where you're able to mine Bitcoin. And on top of that, I think you should also be holding some Bitcoin as well in your wallets and just leaving it there. Once the next bear market comes in, right? Like right now we're in a bullish phase. So we're just saying, in the future, in the near future, once we see another bear market, another correction, that's a time where you just accumulate some Bitcoin and just set it and forget it for the next 10 years, and even having one or even three or whatever you can afford to, have, I think that in itself is going to be, serving you for your entire life and probably, your next generations as well. What do you think about that, Matt?
Yeah, I totally agree. And like the point you were saying about uh, gold earlier, that the Bitcoin is the digital gold in a sense. So we do still, respect and appreciate traditional gold and silver, and people should hold some of that too. No harm in it. But at the same time, digital gold, Bitcoin is very important to hold. And some of these, macro coins or blue chip coins, uh, people would want to consider holding them for the long term. And like you said, you can't really travel with that much of gold or even a fiat cash, right? 10,000 at most, some other places less, 5,000, whatnot. But you can carry a USB stick of a cold wallet with billions in cat meme coins, and nobody's going to stop you, right? Okay. So it goes to show you that, this is a far more efficient and superior and practical technology than anything else, really. And everybody should be exposed to some of uh, crypto in their portfolio, regardless of wherever they invest. At least have some Bitcoin, for the long term. It's something that's going to keep on going up. It's the best performing asset that's going to keep on rising in value. Yeah,
That is correct. I agree with you. And not only can you hold billions or trillions of cat meme coins, you can also just hold, billions of dollars, in stable coins, and nobody's going to bother you. Like if you have
that's
that
true.
much,
That's true.
uh, yeah.
That is
Literally, literally. Like you see some of these wallets and what they're holding, you know, they're holding insane amounts of money, there are whales, there are people, whales have so much money. There are people that are still holding 100,000 Bitcoin, 10,000, 50,000, 1,000, 3,000
yeah,
Bitcoin alone. Just look at just do the math on it, man. How much money that is. So that, or, people who bought Ethereum in 2015. Ethereum was what? It was like 30 cents when it came out. Do you know that? That's crazy. Like, just imagine, putting 1,000, $10,000 into ETH, and just holding it. Um, you'd be retired, right? By now. Like, you wouldn't even, like, if you want to grow your money further, you could, right, with all the other altcoins, but you'd already be set for life. So, I get it why a lot of people that have a ton of Bitcoin, they don't really delve into other things, because I don't think they really need to, if you know what I mean. But the opportunities here are insane, absolutely insane. Like there is nothing in this market, in the entire market, that is like crypto, right? Nothing at the moment. And what we're seeing is a early .com era, or early Amazon era. That's really where we're at right now. And these next 6 years are really going to be, monumentally defining every single thing that this industry is going to adopt and bring about, in terms of also societal change, how people use money, how people understand money, right? What is value? I think people are going to have a lot, there's going to be a mindset shift and an entire societal shift towards digital currencies. And the bad is CBDCs, right? Which I don't really support, honestly. But the good is decentralization. And I know a lot of people are saying that, maybe this entire thing. What do you think about, people that say that, this was an entire psyops, so that people actually got into digital currencies, and then, eventually they'd just be taken to CBDCs. Do you find some truth into it? Because I mean, President Trump, for example, said that, he's not going to allow any CBDCs. So is the plan ruined, or has decentralization won? What do you think about this?
I think that we have to wait and see what really practically uh, comes out, in the coming months, you know, and not everything is obviously, uh, you know, a game or something. Some things are legit, and some things are, you know, a little bit more on the shady side, So we'll have to see with time that what things are shown to be, legitimate business practices, and what things are, sort of like a manipulation of people's ideas of how to go about this, or of the market in general, you know. And as we're seeing a lot of these institutions getting involved and other aspects, there's going to be more, agendas at play here uh, in the future. So I don't know, we'll have to wait and see to see how much of this goes in which direction. Does it become more centralized and control, or does it become more decentralized? Or is there both are going to be existing in harmony with each other, or in balance with each other, or in conflict with each other, you know? And as we're going forward, there's a lot of more talk about decentralized. For example, now there's a lot of talk about having a decentralized social media, and there's most likely to be some crypto token that's going to be associated with that, you know? So these things, Telegram was talking about having a crypto, token and whatnot. So there's a lot of things that can happen. It depends that how things progress. Right now, I would say we are at a crossroad, you know, and we will have to wait and see how things move forward, especially with the performance of this bull run. This bull run is very important. We're at a crossroad, and we got to see which direction things go in, where things play. But things are happening very fast. A lot of awareness, a lot of information is passing very fast. Things are happening faster and faster, and getting more. The intensity is increasing. So, and such intensity and such speed is hard to control. That too, you know. So I do see a lot of decentralized solutions coming up in the future. So I look forward to that, and let's see what happens.
Absolutely, absolutely, my friend. I agree with you. And speaking of decentralized solutions, I wanted to, bring your attention to, this. We were talking about ease of use and mass adoption, right? How would you feel if I tell you that, I mean, I think we discussed it, a little bit in the past, but what do you think is going to happen when we see something like this happening? Wait, let me just show this to you. Um, Check this out, man. MetaMask launching, it's MasterCard. And what's really interesting is we have the web MetaMask is the largest Web3 wallet, right? They're going to
Yeah,
be
I
launching
heard
their
about
own
this.
global expansion of the MetaMask card. So this is where it gets interesting. Get your MetaMask card today and begin using it immediately via digital wallet integrations with Apple Pay or Google Pay. Note eligible currencies including USDC, USDT, and wrapped ETH on Linea network. See, I remember when I talked about the importance of Linea, right? And look, they're talking about Linea here right now as well. It's one of the best kept secrets, and nobody is really talking about Linea. There hasn't been any movement on Linea yet, but I think we're going to start to see some serious growth on Linea as well, right? And I think we talked about Linea in the past as well. And it says if you're outside of the UK, EU, Brazil, Mexico, and Colombia, you're not forgotten. MetaMask card pilot is rolling out globally over the coming months. So join our waitlist to stay in the loop. So what do you think about this, man? I mean, there are already ways that you can literally enjoy your cashing out process. You don't even have to transfer things to the bank. You can just keep things in stable coins, right? Whatever gains you've made, right? And you can even use things like Red Dot Pay, which has been a solution. But how do you feel about this, man? The largest Web3 wallet having its own Mastercard, which is going to be used globally. What do you think about this,
I
man?
think,
If
I
this
think
is
this is yeah, I think this is a
huge.
big deal. It's huge. And MetaMask is one that is very popular and very famous. And it's only going to gain more traction. Also, when they make their user interface even more easier, more user friendly, you know, it's going to attract a lot of people. And this can be one of the biggest gateway drugs for people into the crypto industry. So it's very, very important. And I think this is huge, it's humongous. And also with Linea being involved with this, this could be considered a good investment and a good fundamental utility coin play that people can get in with because the value of whatever will be associated with this can also go up.
That is correct. That is correct. I see, a mass adoption scenario happening really easily with all of this being integrated, right? And I think when we come to, there's been you remember Zuckerberg, he was talking about that, the future is tons of AI agents are going to be running so many different tasks. And
Yeah,
you remember that? And I think for crypto, if anything, this team, this protocol really started it all, like in terms of, virtual agents, virtuals, right? Well, remember we gave it very early in our Patreon. Those who got in to virtuals made more than 100x, way more than 100x, when we called it. And autonomous AI agents, this is, they speak and move in 3D spaces. People can they can assign tasks to them. They learn, plan, and make decisions, right? So this is like really, really interesting. The future of, the integration of AI agents with human beings. Like, what do you think about this, man? This is like AI and humans coming as one and actually coexisting, rather than a Terminator type of scenario where, everything is doom and gloom. I want your thoughts about AI agents because I know Virtuals has done very well. We have a lot of great other projects that we've talked about on our Patreon, which I don't think we need to talk about. I mean, just join us, guys. Join us. We have one of the most informative newsletters in the space, and the price point right now is super reasonable because we're going to be, we're soon going to release a very different, we're going to increase our prices. Let's just put it this way, and you can play games and all this. So virtuals really, really started it all, man. And I think everything started to catch on. We saw the growth of virtuals in front of our eyes. What do you think about the AI agents, bro? What do you think? What
I
role would they
think
play?
I think AI agents and the AI category as a whole is going to have very, very high pumpamentals, right? It's a very strong narrative. I think it's going to make a lot. A lot of money is going to flow into it. I think it's going to make a lot of people a lot of money in this bull run. This whole category is going to rise, you know? So, considering the AI category, getting into AI coins, and also in particular, getting into this now new subcategory of like AI agents is also going to be very beneficial because everything to do with AI right now, at this point in time, at this point in the world, is going to be very lucrative, very hot. It's a hot topic. It has a lot of uh, talk about it, a lot of narratives around it, a lot of pumpamentos, and I can easily see a lot of money to be flowing into it. Already money's flowing into it. They will be more. So the AI category in general, and specifically AI agents category, is very good. And everybody should be looking into the coins in there and considering which ones they want to hold. Yeah,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And I think there are definitely some serious contenders, for virtuals as well. There, which we've talked about on Patreon. I don't think we need to get into those on this podcast. But if you want access to some of those things, join us. We will probably be talking about those other AI agents and things, and what potential there is. Um, you know, for those, where they can go in our next podcast. But before we do, one more thing that I really want to talk about, is one of our projects that we were very, very bullish on earlier, right? Um, was Morphware, right? You remember Morphware? Um,
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah,
Morphware has
yeah,
been doing amazing. Yeah.
yeah. So like, if we if we have a look at it, this is where I think things get very, very interesting, because um, I feel this one is definitely one to really, really look out for. And yeah, so more for a decentralized machine learning on the blockchain. So what these guys are basically, you know, they have been building for the last 3 years, transforming networks with next gen AI solutions. They have very, very strong partnerships, with GPU.net, Teller, Harmony, Pocket, right? And then they also have a lot of other, they're also a Web2 company. They have signed a complete deal in Paraguay. They have their home base in Paraguay. They have some of the best miners, bro, that are literally mining Bitcoin, through clean energy, which is hydro-powered. And basically they're using all that power, all that extra power and all those things. If I had to simplify it for machine learning and data, they're using all of that stuff for machine learning, basically, and artificial intelligence. So, and what's really interesting is that they're working on so many things, more for Genesis AI generative media, on-chain validators, payments for services resolved in XMW tokens, more for agents, specialized assistants. So, Morpher is also coming out with their own agents, man. And I saw some of the samples on Telegram, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I think these agents are really, really, really going to revolutionize the space. There's no other virtual, there's no other AI agent that is doing the things that Morpher's AI agents are doing. And they're doing so many things. If you look at their roadmap, they have been crushing their roadmap. They have a working product. They're earning from their BTC mining, right? They have, do you know something? They have miners that even Tesla was having a hard time obtaining. Can you believe that? Like miners and GPUs. They have GPUs
That's amazing.
basically.
That is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, and it's absolutely phenomenal, guys. I mean, honestly, it's phenomenal, man. Really, really phenomenal. And to everybody that's watching, if you guys haven't really been, if you've been living under a rock, I've been giving, like, literally, honestly, I should have just kept more for just my Patreons. Just my Patreon members. But I literally gave it to you. If that coin alone, you guys got into that when I told you to, you would have already done more than 100x. And we haven't even touched the surfaces. Do you know Anthony, the guy behind Consensus, and basically Consensus, who made MetaMask, right? The guy behind that is part of their marketing team, man, and he's part of their strategic development team as well, from what I know. Um,
That's
I mean,
interesting. That's
yeah,
important. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And when you look at the market cap, it's nowhere close. I mean, this is a project which is worth a multi-billion-dollar market cap, in my opinion. I have done, if anybody is interested in looking at what Morpher is all about, I have done 2 or 3, if I remember. I think I've done 3 very, very extensive interviews with Kenzo Trabing, who's the founder of Morpher, right? And he is an absolutely amazing person, a genius in my opinion, very, very humble. What's really amazing is there's no other project that I've seen that gives so many updates, that literally crushes the roadmap like Morpher does. They have been doing it And they have literally been, any question that is asked on Telegram, man, they answer it. They answer it right off the bat. They give detailed explanations. You go to their Telegram. There is no other project in the space that is doing that. And it's not even like vaporware. There's a real working thing. This is like a real working crypto project, which in my opinion is also bear market proof because of how they're running their mechanisms. So what do you think about Morpher, man? Like, I really, really like this project. I think it's like my biggest conviction play for this bull run, in my opinion.
I think it's a huge project. I think it's still very much under the radar. I think it's one of our really good and one of our best calls, I would even say. And I think this is going to do a lot of numbers. It's already been performing very well. It's held up very good in the regarding when there was a retracement in the market. And this thing is going to do much more higher numbers from here on forward. It brings us very important solution for Bitcoin itself and its operation. So it's definitely up there, and it has a solid team, solid backing, and it will definitely perform amazing during this bull run. If you are not in Morpher, please consider it, look into it, watch the DeFi enthusiasts videos on it here on our Crypto Ronin channels, look into it, and do consider it seriously.
I agree with you. And what's another interesting thing is that they earn a lot. They're approximately, I think it's about to increase a lot, but they're earning more than $78,000 or something per month with their mining. And it's going to soon go into the six figures, by the way, with the amount of machines they're adding into their space. And they're also doing buybacks for Morpher for the token as well. So it's a really, really win-win situation here, guys. I mean, they're at the forefront of AI development. They are truly providing utility for AI. They are, they have a partnership in Paraguay. They have a base in Paraguay. They are, doing it in a clean, environment-friendly manner. And they're bringing real utility to AI. And there's so much development happening on this project. So, it's one of those rare projects that literally has everything going for it, and a lot of people are still they're not putting their focus on it. So highly recommended, guys, honestly. And coming back to excuse me, coming back to Trump and everything that's happening, there's another project that they've been holding, man. What do you think about this one, dude? Athena. This one in particular is basically a synthetic dollar with internet native yield. Reminds me of Luna. I mean, let's have a look at it. I want your thoughts on this, man.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, do you see it right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, check this out. Enabling internet money, synthetic dollar with internet native yield. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this is also going to do a lot of numbers. Gonna do. This is also a good investment, especially in the short to midterm. It could do a 10 to 20x from here. And also, I believe the Trump their portfolio. I think they've added this if I'm not mistaken.
They
Right?
have. That's why I actually talked about it. I was saying the Trump administration is holding this one in part. In their portfolio, they're also holding Chainlink. They're holding Tron. They're holding a ton of ETH. That's their largest holding, but definitely Athena is also there. So this is giving me the Terra Luna vibes, but like Terra Luna
Yeah.
done right, probably. That's just the way I would see it. But one thing is, enemies of Trump could really, harm this project too, maybe. I don't know, because they're holding it. But I think they have the mechanisms in place. Binance Labs are backing it, Fidelity, OKX Ventures. So they have some serious money behind them. They're already like at a multi-billion-dollar valuation, right? And but their entire ecosystem is very interesting. See, they have the USDE, which is a synthetic dollar, which aims to provide a censorship-resistant, stable, and scalable solution for the digital asset market. Now, isn't that interesting? That's a very interesting thing.
Yeah. That
And
is
then
interesting.
Then they have staked USDE is the leading savings asset in DeFi. It accumulates rewards periodically and can be obtained by staking USDE. Then we've got ENA, which is the Athena token, which is the governance token. It gives holders a voice in the direction of Athena. Then we've got staked ENA can be obtained by staking Athena. It is compassable in DeFi, may accrue ENA rewards and receive our highest rewards campaign multiplier. Then, invest, Binance are investors, Bybit, OKX, BitGet, Kraken, Coinbase. They're literally listed on Coinbase, man. So that should tell you these guys have done their homework. I think where Luna failed, Athena could succeed. What do you think about that?
Absolutely, absolutely. We had that huge Luna fiasco. There were a number of holes there, and also some, we could say malpractice or wrong intentions from the owner as well. So I do think that Athena here can solve those issues and those holes that we saw with Luna, right? And definitely it just can rise and solve those problems. But here's the thing, they should not market themselves with the name Luna at all. In my opinion, I think the Luna's given a bitter taste in people's, mind. So I don't think that they should even compare it to them. But from our point of view, we should, in terms of an analysis point of view, I think you're doing absolutely right, and that spells out big fundamentals and big profits for those who understand. So yeah, we could see this definitely doing huge numbers in the future, and there's a reason why Trump has added this to their portfolio, right? So this is definitely going places. And again, I'm curious because who has told them, who has informed them about this? This seems to be very, very deep and specific analysis to go for Athena. Like, I can understand Trump investing in Bitcoin or, talking about Ethereum or, launching a meme coin, Trump coin. That's them. But then them specifically investing in Athena, this is something like out of the way, so some depth, some deep analysis is going on there. And I do think Trump's son Barron is behind that, because he grew up with the crypto industry growing, and I think he's been exposed to it, and he's the one who's giving them information and analysis. And he seems like a very deep now analytical thinker, and I think he's quite the genius in my opinion. So that'd be something there to consider as well.
I agree. I think a lot of credit goes to Barron Trump for sure because he's the youngest out of his children. I feel, and I feel he's really really connected with today's generation, with today's people, and with today's technology, right? And I think Barron gets a lot of credit for probably recommending Athena, for probably recommending Chainlink, right? Besides, for telling these guys to buy a ton of Ethereum, because honestly, the way I feel personally is that have you noticed something that most utility coins are on Ethereum, okay, right? And most of the meme coin mania is taking place on Solana, right?
Solana,
And then we
yeah,
also have utility plus memes on base chain. But right now, that's another chain that is going to do very well. But coming back to where we're talking about, Ethereum, I feel, is the chain that is going to really, really, start the bull run for altcoins. Because
yeah,
once Ethereum goes up, all the other altcoins are going to start going up. And I think that's why, even POTUS has so much of Ethereum, in their portfolio, right? POTUS and his children basically. And
yeah,
and I feel that once this starts, I think Trump has a great, from a marketing perspective, he's going to say, hey, look, I came in and I triggered the bull run, so
yeah,
so
yeah,
and we can expect that from him. We can expect a statement like that from him, right? I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities, after all kinds of interesting statements that he's given, recently or in the
yeah.
past.
Just like the TikTok ban, like how he got banned, and the next day he said, "Hey, look, I unbanned it." You know what I'm saying? So he gets the win for that.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. And I think he's made a lot of promises to the crypto community. And even speaking of the inauguration again, SUI was SUI, right? SUI, the crypto SUI.
yeah,
They were the ones that were backing it, that were sponsoring the event. What do you think about that, man? I mean, that's crazy, right? To imagine a crypto company sponsoring the presidential inauguration. That's crazy.
Exactly. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. It's a huge deal. And the fact that this is, even happening, it's a big deal. It's bad, but this is very bullish for the whole crypto industry. The fact that crypto altcoin is sponsoring the presidential inauguration. It's a big deal. It's huge. And that's why I'm very bullish in that this, administration overall is pro crypto, and we're going to see more things going forward and more money flowing into the space. And I think these are going to be huge. And there's going to be a huge pump. And I think people are just overreacting with the FUD for no reason because they've been holding for a long time since the last bull run. So they're just exhausted mentally, you know. But they need to, revitalize themselves and refresh themselves and hold on longer because by this summer, they could come out with huge gains or even longer this whole year, in fact, 2025. And in fact, there's a huge chance we could even go into a super cycle. So that's also something to take into consideration. And if there is any indication of that, it is these big institutions coming in, and also the fact that an altcoin was sponsoring the inauguration. This is all pumpamentals, big pumpamentals.
Exactly, exactly. And speaking of all the interesting things, right? This is a people uh um you know uh are like, I think they're too scared at times, and I feel it's ridiculous because when you see things like this happening, there are rumors circulating and rather information going around, right? That check this out, man. I wanted to share this with you. Um, hold on, check this out. In fact, with all of our viewers, in fact, um, that that Qatar is rumored to invest 500 billion in Bitcoin, as Islamic smart contracts get launched. So this is a very interesting thing, man. I want your thoughts on this, bro, because 500 billion USD, like seriously, and people are worried about their $1,000 going away, and here Qatar is considering 500 billion USD. You know,
Exactly. Qatar wants to get in on the action just like Dubai. And in fact, all those Gulf countries have this sort of theme. They're very good at trade, they're very good at business, and they're very open to innovation.
yeah,
So with Dubai, by the way, Dubai, they're building a 17-story crypto tower. I mean, it doesn't
yeah,
get more open and bullish and friendly, crypto friendly than that, you know? And Qatar also wants to get in on the action now, as well. So we're seeing this, this move to basically catch up with Dubai, with the UAE, where they are with crypto, with them, and also now with the United States becoming crypto friendly, it's even encouraging more countries to move it. So we're going to see a lot of this, I think, happening with a lot of countries. They're going to start, bringing crypto in. They're going to start onboarding. They're going to start coming down with a solid, crypto policy, and it's just going to lead to more money flowing into the market, right? And that's gonna, rising tide raises all ships, and that's what we're gonna see. So, all this fun is immature. It's really just people being silly noise. Um, the future is bright.
exactly, exactly, man. And I feel that on this bullish note, I think we should you know uh end this for now, and we're gonna be doing a podcast pretty much every single week, and we're going to be talking about all things crypto, all things related to crypto, whatever's going on. Me and the Dow realists from Crypto Ronins, we're gonna keep doing that. If you want some of the best alpha on the planet, please join our Patreon. Please consider joining it because it's only for your own benefit, guys. And obviously, it encourages us to keep doing what we're doing because we pretty much treat it as a full-time job. Researching, finding things, and doing all that. So if you join us, it supports us and it encourages us to keep going. And even if you don't support us, we're still going to keep doing it. But we have some of the best alpha in the space for sure. Because I think I'm proud to say this, that we're like one of the few crypto channels that has never done a sponsored video. We have never been sponsored by anyone. We've always talked about things that we feel are good. And of course, none of anything that we say is not financial advice naturally, but and sometimes things don't work out in the best way possible. But more than that, they do work out. So that's the important thing to focus on. And we only talk about things that we feel that we're confident in, and it's got nothing to do with being sponsored by anyone. So on this, I think there's going to be an altcoin super cycle coming. We're going to see a ton of growth. A ton of things are going to be happening that are going to be really, really amazing. And this FUD right now, this market retracement right now, is not going to mean much, in a few days or probably a few months. So I hope this was informative for you guys. Please tune in to our channel, subscribe, share this as much as possible. Leave a comment on the videos, as always helps with the algorithm. Please, guys, leave a comment, and we're going to keep doing this. So this is me, the DeFi enthusiast, and of course, the DAO realist, signing out. Anything that you want to say, brother, before we end this?
Yeah, everyone should, for their own benefit, definitely should join the Patreon in the link below. And I just want to say that to let the gains begin. Crypto Ronins rise and reign.
Awesome. Take care, guys. Bye.